Hello, everyone. As promised, I am back again today with a heart full of grace. Today, we will share grace with the topic of way of faith, way of prayer. Let's pay attention to this verse. It is Hebrews 10 verse 38. My righteous one will live by faith, and if he shrinks back, I will have no pleasure in him. Notice three words in this verse. Righteous, faith, live. The words righteous and righteous can mean without fault or without sin, but they also refer to someone who is completely in line with God's will in how they think, feel, and act. My righteous one, that is, the righteous one who belongs to God, must live by faith. What did the righteous one who has been made righteous by the blood of Jesus Christ live by? By faith. The second word, the Greek word pistis, which we have heard so much about, is faith. This faith is a gift. This faith is a more precious asset than a car, a house, a large piece of land, or treasures. It is the greatest asset. The greatest gift that we Christians have received is not health. It is faith. Through this faith, God gave us a different way of life. It is a way of living by the Spirit, by faith live. The Greek word for live here is zeo. It contains the meaning of recover. Live in good health. Beyond just live. Then, we can see how different the way of the flesh and the life of the Spirit are. There are two ways for people to live on this earth. The way of living is the way of the flesh and the way of living is the way of the Spirit. The way of the flesh is the way of living with human tricks. It is the way of living with patterns of greed and sin. On the other hand, the way of living in communion with God and in the Spirit is the way of living a blessed life of receiving God's guidance through faith and prayer. The way of the Spirit is the way of crucifying oneself and living only under the guidance of God's Spirit. Depending on whether it is the way of the flesh or the way of the Spirit, the course and destination of the way of life are completely different. A gap beyond imagination opens up. If the life of disbelief in the flesh is a very small pond, the life of faith in the Spirit is the way of living connected to the universal realm. It is the way of living closely connected to God, the eternal Creator. Living closely connected to God, the method is connected to these two things, the law of faith and the breath of prayer. Of course, within the material of the word. The method of faith is the easiest and simplest method. The method of prayer is the safest way to drive. However, people rarely use this key of faith and prayer. It is arithmetical, rational, and only seeks immediate benefits. Emotions come first. This is the cause of the minus that prevents us from enriching our lives. Praying and moving forward in the way of faith may seem very slow at first, and we may even experience trials, but the accomplishments and rewards that come afterward are truly great. The value of prayer and faith is finally revealed. The way of faith is the method introduced by the Bible. Taking the way of faith and living in the way of faith is the fastest and most blessed way. Let's remember the blessed pioneers of faith. They crossed the Red Sea in faith, they were protected by the pillar of fire and the pillar of cloud in faith, they occupied the city of Jericho in faith, by faith, we entered the land of Canaan. We were healed by faith, our problems were solved by faith, we had our food, clothing, and shelter taken care of by faith, we were saved by faith, we entered the kingdom by faith, we became those who please God by faith. The prayer of faith parts the sea, we walk on water, we overcome hardships, we calm the storms, we heal incurable diseases, we open closed doors, pursuing the way of faith that God is pleased with. Walk the path of faith. Become a good soldier of faith. Become a warrior of faith. Faith creates boldness. We are not those who retreat and sink. We must not look back. We must boldly cross over by faith. We must move forward by faith. Overcoming illness by faith. Overcoming hardship by faith. We must overcome and win the power of darkness with faith. It is possible because the Lord is with us. Now I would like to finish by introducing a verse of the Word. Hebrews 11 verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he who comes to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who diligently seek him. Living by faith means not only winning on this earth, but also expecting that he is a rewarder. I pray that this blessing will be abundant in your homes and workplaces. I will return next time with another armful of grace. Thank you.